Hi, everybody. During today's call, we ran into a number of situations that kind of confused things or sent us off on tangents. So I wanted to do a really clear walkthrough of everything that it would take to accomplish today's assignment. And hopefully somewhere in there, the ability to rewind and take a look at what menus pop up or what the steps are might help you to troubleshoot some of the things you're running into and maybe give you the opportunity to clarify some things. So we're going to hop on over into Visual Studio Code. I'll create a brand new website. We'll talk about colors and background colors. We'll talk about links with targets. We'll talk about images with sources and alts. And then we'll talk about the assignment that we put in place today. So here we go. Opening up Visual Studio Code. I'm going to if I've got a folder open and I want to close it, I can do Command K followed by an F. And I'm going to go ahead and say Save All because I don't know what's there. So I'm going to go ahead and open a folder, and I'm going to create a new folder in my HTML CSS folder and for this class. And I'm going to go New Folder, and I'm going to do this link and pick demo. No extension for folder names. I'm sorry about that. Don't want to add that on right now. Link and pick demo. I create. I don't have any files in here, but that's okay. I'm going to let Visual Studio Code do all that. I'm going to open this empty folder. And here we are. I don't have any open editors except this welcome page. I can get rid of that. And here's the folder that I have here. This right here will create a new file for us. So I'm going to call this, I'm just going to call this index.html for simplicity. Notice that extension, that .html, the moment I type it in is when it figures out that this is an image. Okay, we're going to get the basic layout for the page. And again, you'll notice that I tend not actually to indent the head and the body just to save a little sideways space. That's really just a personal choice. Beyond that, I always indent for different layers. I need my meta for the character set. I need my title, link and image demo. And in the body, I'm going to put a header just so I always know that I'm in the right spot. Okay, and then my style is going to go in here. So we've talked about a few things with the style. We're working in the style in CSS, cascading style sheets. And it starts with a selector. What is it that we're going to actually try to apply style to? I'm going to apply style to the whole body for now. I'm going to give it a background dash color. And I can use named colors like black. And once I've got something there, I can hover over this and it'll let me have my color chooser. And when I start choosing there, it's going to switch to this RGB format. And so the first number is red, the second one is green, and the last one is blue. And the more of each number, the more of that color that is there. The maximum number for any of them is 255. So let's see what color I want for my page. Oh, I like that area. So I slide down here and I come up into here. That looks like a good one. And then I'm going to do a color. This will decide what the font is, the font color. And I'm going to make that, I'm going to start with black there and see how that goes. You can always look up named colors just with a quick search on Google for HTML named colors. So this should give me that. I'm going to go and look at the page and see how it's looking. I'm going to right click on that and I'm going to reveal in Finder and double click on it to open it in my default one. So I like that background color. Black is working fine for now. I can read it pretty clearly. Okay, so I go back to Visual Studio Code. I can also, so I can select anything by its tag name. Body's applying to everything because the body has all the content of the page. If I have something more specific, like let's say let's do a version of yellow here. That's actually a pretty decent one right off the bat, but we'll go, yeah, something like that is fine. So if I do that, what it's going to do is change so that that looks absolutely terrible. Sorry about that. So that the color of the font becomes this yellow, even though it's black here, because header is more specific. And then I'm going to give that a background color of black. Let's go take a look at that. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. The spacing isn't the way I wanted and all that, but we haven't learned those things, so I won't use them yet. Okay. The next thing I want to talk about is how to do a link. Links are super important. So I'm going to add a link. So A creates the link, and that means something that I can click on to go to a different address. Href shows us that address. It can be to another file in your folder, or it can be to a full web address, like mcleanonline.com. So then what you need, so that's the address it's going to go to, and then you need something for it to say that they're going to click on, or something to show that they can click on. So I'm going to say McLean. Okay. Now if I come back to my browser and I reload, it now says McLean here. And if I click on it, it moves this page to my website. So I have to go back to get there. If I want that to show up in a different page, or a different tab, I should say, I can put a target. If I always want it to be a brand new additional tab, even if I click on it 6 times, I get 6 tabs, I'll put _blank. So I reload and then I click it and it opens up a new tab, and hopefully it actually loads. There we go. I click it again, it opens up another new tab, and I do it again and I get another new tab. If I want to open it to one single target tab and have it use that one again and again, I can give that tab a name. My linked pages or something. It's a terrible name, but it'll do for now. So I'm going to come back here and reload this. And it again is going to open a new tab. But notice, so I'm going to get rid of this one that I've used before. I'm going to click it again and notice that it opens back into that tab. So because it's named, it says, oh, well, I'm going to that tab, and it reloads into that tab. And I can do additional links in that tab as well. And this, we've seen some questionable results on this. Sometimes the behavior is not quite what's expected. Target equals my linked pages, Riverdale. So I come back here, I'm going to get rid of this tab so it's out of the way. I reload. I open up Riverdale, and it opens in this tab. Brand new tab because I don't have a named tab open. I open McLean, and it also opens up in that tab. So when you name a target, it creates a window that has that name somewhere inside the browser, so that any link that has that same target will open in that window. You may not see a need for that now, but in the future you may well encounter a need for that. So that's doing links. Next we're going to talk about images really quickly. So to get an image, I'm going to go to Google Chrome. I'm going to go to images.google.com, and I'm going to look up, let's go for puppies. Can't go wrong with puppies, can we? And in my tools, I'm going to go ahead with usage rights and say Creative Commons. This should make it okay for me to use these. And this one looks pretty adorable, so I'm going to click it once. And then I'm going to right click here and save image as. And I'm going to go put it in that link and pick demo folder. I'll talk about folder structure another day. It drops it down here, but it has also put it into that folder. And I'm going to go ahead and get one more for the sake of demonstration. I'm going to save that image as, let's call this puppy2. This is WebP, which is going to have limited, a little bit of limited usage. Some browsers won't recognize it, but I'm using Chrome anyway, so we'll go ahead and do that. If you can stick with JPEGs or PNGs, those are really the ones that you'd probably want in most cases. Now that they're there, I can see that I've got puppy2.webp and download.jpg. I can rename files right here in Visual Studio Code. Right-click on it, go to rename, puppy1.jpg. All right, so an image is an IMG tag. It gets an src attribute to point to the image. That can be an address that goes out on the internet somewhere and grabs an image off of somebody else's page to show you that. The challenge there is that you don't have control then of what that image is. The owner of that web page could replace it with anything and maybe get you in some trouble. So you want to be in control of your own pictures. Okay. Image source equals puppy1.jpg. I'm going to come back here, I reload, and there's that little set of puppies. Remember that an image is an inline element, so there's as are A tags. So link, link, image, all on one line. I'm going to put an HR to create a line. I'm going to create another image with the source of puppy2.webp. And then I'm going to come back and reload. And now I've got this one. And that'll take care of that. If I want to force an image to a particular width or to limit its width, I can style just by accessing the name of the tag, image, IMG, and I'm going to give it a width of 200 px. Px stands for pixels. Reload. Save. I had not saved. Reload. And now they're both 200 pixels. They're the same size. They look good. A couple of tricks about that. I could also say I want that max width to be, let's say, 300 pixels. And then if it's smaller than that, it'll stay smaller. And if it's bigger than that, it'll stop at that width. The correct way to do images would be to change their size in an image editor so that you're not forcing your user to download more data than is absolutely necessary. Okay, so I've got images and I've got links. I can also, well, let me go back one. One other feature with images, you can put in an alt attribute, which will be what it should say if the image isn't viewable, or if the user is on something that, like a screen reader or something that's not showing the image. So we want to think about our blind users sometimes. So alt equals cute puppy picture. And then I'm going to break this link by throwing in stuff. So this file now doesn't exist, so it should show the alt. So I reload. It shows the broken image, the broken link icon that says cute puppy picture. So at least it's there's something there that tells us what it should be. And again, if the user is not able to see, the screen reader will be able to tell them that this is a cute puppy picture. Okay, I'm going to undo my breaking of that link. Good form is to always other cute puppy picture. Good form is to always include a good alt. The other thing I want to include is that we can take something like an image. I'm going to cut it and I'm going to move it into the link. I'm going to get rid of the Riverdale thing, and now this will be a picture of a puppy that is a link to Riverdale. Reload. Notice this one, nothing. This one, my icon becomes that hand. That's to show that this is something I can click on. When I do, it loads in this tab because it's still that named tab, and it loads to the Riverdale website. So that takes care of links, images, colors, and now we'll talk about the assignment for today. So the assignment is to create a website that has 5 topics or subtopics or it could be a list of 5 things and you're going to talk about them. So it has to have 5 things. Each one should have a heading that says something. So let's say I'm going to talk about puppies. I'm going to put in some text. I think that puppies are adorable. They also are a lot of work. Yeah, that'll do. And then I want an image for each one and a link. So let's see, there must be something. If I do a Google search for puppies pet finder, that looks great. So I'm going to right click there and go copy link address. And then I'm going to say you can find out about puppies at, and then I'm going to put in my link. Href equals, there's the address. And then it needs to say something. I'm going to sort of split that up. Pet finder. And then I've already got a cute puppy picture here, so I'm going to cut that out of there, put it in here. And now I have one of my things. I'm going to leave that horizontal rule in there, that line across, because I think that'll make it look nice. I could just be ready with my next H1 for my next section. So I reload, and you see that that's what I've got. It's not perfect. It's not very well structured, but we could see that if I then put in, I'll just copy all this and just do it again. I would want you to put in actual new information and different pictures and different links. But to show you how it looks like once you've done things, I can see clearly, okay, this one's about puppies. This one's about, well, puppies, but maybe it wouldn't be. Maybe it would be about kittens or orangutans or something. So that's kind of what we're looking for on that assignment, and you'd want 5 sections for that. Feel free to drop in a header to give the thing a bit of a title, and next time we'll talk about fonts. People are kind of chomping at the bit for that. So that's about it. Feel free to email me with questions, or I'd love to see you at office hours. If not, I'll see you at the next class. Thanks, everybody.